Hey guys, welcome back. I've been gone for a little bit. I haven't been releasing as many videos because my wife and I have been moving for the past month or so, and we also just went on vacation and we just got back, so I should be getting a lot of videos out to you very soon, some more reviews, so watch out for those. So, Spider-Man Far From Home, I saw this a couple weeks ago, and it is the first movie after the events of Avengers Endgame, and for those of you 3 people who haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, it is, of course, the highest grossing film of all time now, just beat Avatar, which is awesome. This movie contains spoilers from Endgame, so you've been warned. So anyways, just generally leaving from Avengers Endgame, going forward in the MCU and what they're going to be rolling out in front of us, I am just not super excited just inherently. We've lost our anchors in the MCU, which were Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., and also Captain America with Chris Evans. And those 2 characters really steered the ship, and they were the glue that kept everything together through the Avengers. You know, that's how everything connected, was through the Avengers movies. And going forward, since we lost those characters, I haven't found myself that excited. So, also some backstory for me going into this movie. I didn't necessarily love the first Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homecoming. They focus on the spider suit and the Stark tech in it. Just a little bit too much for my taste. I thought it kind of took away from Spider-Man's character, and they kind of made that sort of his arc, like you have to be able to like earn the suit, when really that's not his thing. It's like you have to be able to earn your powers, and it's kind of lame that they kind of put it into his suit that was where all of his powers were coming from. I also thought in that movie the action was just a little bit underwhelming. I thought it could have been a lot better. And lastly, they also are just kind of moving away from the lore. They are like, oh, people have seen that. We want to do something different. We don't want to show his origin, or like Uncle Ben dying again. These things are so tightly woven within Spider-Man's whole character. You know, Uncle Ben is why he is the way he is. So, all of that being said, going into Far From Home, I actually really enjoyed this movie. First thing, I thought that all the interplay and relationships between the characters just worked way better. I thought that they were just way more charming, and when they went for humor, it landed. I felt like in the first one it didn't quite always land, but in this one I felt like it batted way better. In the first movie they went a lot with Ned and Peter. In this movie it's less, so I think when they go for the jokes between them, it's just way easier to get good working jokes. Also with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I think this is his best performance as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I just felt like emotionally he did very well acting in this role, and there was a little bit more at stake in this movie, and I thought that he came into form. He was a lot more comfortable as well. I just love him because you can always tell when he's going through his press junkets or going through, his social media, he's always just so happy to be playing Spider-Man. And that's just great. I love it that he really relishes the role, and it makes it really easy for us fans to like him. It's just great. And some characters nowadays in the MCU don't do that, unfortunately. But anyways, he is a great guy, and I really am happy that he's in this role. I also thought the action in this movie was just really great. I felt like the story was always moving forward and was always going somewhere. Sometimes in Homecoming it would meander a little bit, and it would just get a little bit too slow with Peter like trying to get caught up with things. But in this movie, he has a mission, he's doing his mission, and it takes twists and turns along the way, and it's just way more exciting that way. So I thought this movie just flowed a lot better. Another part that I really liked was Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors working today. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite. And he just does a great job as Mysterio. I think that they really, really undersold it in the marketing, but going into the movie and once I saw what I saw, so happy with what I got. One thing that I was kind of dreading going into this movie was the relationship between Mary Jane, who's played by Zendaya, and Peter. I just was not super excited for the direction they were taking with her. They changed her appearance, which I'm like, okay, whatever. That's like not even the biggest deal for me. Like, she's usually a, Spitfire redhead girl, and they changed her a little bit to be a little bit more frumpy. The worst part was that in the first movie, she was just like really sassy and just like, and like, that's not attractive. It's like no guy is attracted to that. If they're gonna make this Mary Jane's thing and like have Peter be some dweeby guy chasing this like sassy dumb girl, like that's not gonna be interesting at all. But they did make it a little bit better. They had them have some charming scenes together, and they had them flirt. So it softened it up a little bit. Still not exactly what I would want it to be, but better than what I thought it was going to be. And as far as my main negative goes for this movie, I do think that it still suffers a little bit from having to be tied into all the MCU stuff. Nick Fury is a big part of this movie, and we do see Happy Hogan, although I do think the Happy Hogan stuff works really well in the movie. It's really funny. A lot of funny stuff comes from that. But just generally, it does have to be held up by a lot of MCU stuff. But it works better than Homecoming, so I'm fine with it. It's what you gotta pay for having a cinematic universe, I guess. So I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home an 8.5 out of 10. So in general, I thought that this was a great step in the right direction for the Spider-Man character. I will still say I'm not quite on board with him leading the Avengers or being something to tie it all together, but I do know that he has a long career ahead of him with Sony and the MCU and all that jazz, but I'm excited for his character at least. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. Go out and watch the movie. Tell me what you think. If you've already seen it and have your thoughts, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of it. And click the notification button, subscribe button, press the like button. It would help me out, I think. I only have 3 people watching these videos. Whatever. But anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.